Thanks, Gary. And trap 1 is Magna Buddy, owned by Stan Collins and John McLaughlin. Formerly trained, of course, by Barry Draper, but now with Jimmy Wright. Won the Northern Sprint back in April, but took a little time to adapt to new surrounds, but back to his very best, I thought, in the semi-final. Phenomenal early pace, well documented, of course, that he will edge right out of the traps. Was a 7-1 chance when betting opened this morning. 3-1, sorry, that was 7-1 when betting opened on it, 3-1 this morning, and for many the key to the race.
Here's trap 2, Bucks Yahoo, trained by Chris Lunds. Only had the 8 races. Fred Ellison's the owner of Bucks Yahoo already this year, the winner of the Midland Gold Cup at Monmore, and Irish Carter 2 from 6. Bellevue, Monmore and Nottingham wins on his card. Got awesome pace, this dog. Didn't particularly break well in the semi-finals, but raced to the bend. But of course, the big worry is the middle moving antics of Magna Buddy in 1.
And in trap 3 is Elwick Chris, trained by Michael Walsh, the only unbeaten greyhound in the competition. Was slightly unlucky when chasing home Mill Pinpoint in the Steel City Cup final last month. Capable of winning from the front and also off the pace as he did in the semi-final. 10-1 when betting began, 130 with ourselves this morning, and now a 3-1 chance.
An 8-1 chance is trap 4, Hello Dino, trained by Pat Curtin at Oxford, owned by the brothers Ashley and Gary Duckett's. Only had 6 races in the country and 3 wins and 3 seconds. It's an awesome start to his UK career, but he's bred in the purple. His litter mates are the likes of Blue Bee, Farley Blitz and Farley Turbo. Dogs who ran so well over in Ireland in the recent Derby. Wins this for Hello Dino, not just here at Bellevue in this competition of StanJames.com Laurels, but also Perry Bar and Nottingham.
And in trap 5, Yahoo Jamie, owned by Robert Curd, trained by Charlie Lister. The Derby Plate winner has been unlucky in both starts in the competition, but knows how to win. And the 8-1 we offered, as I say, immediately after the semi-finals, that didn't last long. If he breaks on terms, he must have every chance. 20-1 when betting began, 6-1 this morning. I've just said 9-2. That's gone. So's the 4s, the 7-2, and now he's a 3-1 shot for the final.
And finally, trap 6, another big price runner, November Weather, trained by Otto Queres, locally trained here at Bellevue. The only Manchester greyhound represented here, but he's running extremely well, almost closed down Magna Buddy to win his semi-final. An ex-Irish dog who ran in the Irish Derby 2009, semi-finalist in the Gold Cup at Monmore, semi-finalist in the William Hood Classic up at Sunderland, November Weather. He, for me, looks almost assured of a solo, which could be interesting if there's trouble on the inside.
Here we go, they've got ourselves into the StanJames.com Laurels final. As Charlie was saying about Yahoo, Jamie being well back this morning. Most firms have done 6. 5-2 though, 2 books you're on the track here. 3-1 then the 5 Yahoo Jamie, and 3-1 1 Magna Buddy. 8-1 a couple, 4 Hello Dino, as well as the 6 November Weather. The predictor goes 2 and 3. What do you think?
I've got to go with 2, David. I think 2's got a marvellous chance, but Charlie Lister in 5, you know what he's like in these finals. He'll get a dog out in front, and if there's one trainer to do it, it'll be Charlie. I'll tell you what, we've been doing this show now, Dave, for a long time, about 6 or 7 years, and Charlie McCann's been on this show for 6 or 7 years, and he's never yet tipped to trap 1 in the red jacket.
Tipped a winner.
Is it? No. Charlie, is it because, like, I know you're an Everton supporter, why don't you ever tip trap 1, Charlie, with a red jacket on? Is it Liverpool?
Of course it is. Of course it is, Gary. But goodness, our next game, a big relegation 6-pointer. Can you imagine saying that? 6 or 8 weeks ago, Everton versus Liverpool, a relegation dogfight.
7 years, David. He still ain't tipped a wonder.
You're right first time. I still haven't tipped a winner either.
Right, let's get set then for the StanJames.com Laurels final. 470, I think, explosive and maybe difficult metres for a few of these greyhounds on the inside. £6,000 for the winning connections. The usual ifs and buts that we've been discussing throughout the programme. This looks a really good one here. Good racing prospect. Maybe trouble in store. We hope not. We hope it's a clean-cut race. But you've got a feeling, Errol Blythe, with this big crowd here. And when we were talking about big crowds, should have mentioned Romford, because they raced on a non-Romford night recently with a big open card, and the place was absolutely rammed. And Jonathan, you know, Stephen Ray's opinions are important. He's very experienced, but it's not the same all around the country, and it's good to see a really good crowd here to support the Sky Carden Bellevue here tonight. Let's get set to go for the big race then. Your commentator, as ever, Errol Blythe.
And I'm glad to say behind me in the stadium here. The restaurant is packed, it's looking busy, the bars are doing good business, so it's excellent to see so many people out watching greyhound racing, and they're rewarded with a very competitive Laurels final tonight. Bucks Yahoo, of course, the Ladbroke Gold Cup winner earlier in the year when beating Blue Artisan, needs to somehow avoid Trap 1 Magna Buddy, because what we saw in the semi-finals is Magna Buddy veering off right, leaving the boxes, so it might get a little bit busy out of the traps. Let's find out. The StanJames.com Laurels final for 2010 is up and running, and 3 flies out. Elwick Chris flies to the bend here ahead of 1. Magna Buddy's trying to rush through on its inside, but 3 Elwick Chris holds it at bay, and there goes on from 5 Yahoo Jamie back in second half. These come 6 November Weather as they come down towards the second half bend. It's Elwick Chris with a 2-length lead here from 5. Racing in second, Yahoo Jamie, then comes November Weather, but it's Elwick Chris for Michael Walsh that is striding clear. No doubt about this. Elwick Chris has taken them to the cleaners here. Beat 6 November Weather in second, Yahoo Jamie back in third, and Elwick Chris is the winner of the StanJames.com Laurels for 2010. Well, as soon as this greyhound popped out of the boxes so quickly, it was game over, because at the end of the day, all it had to do was stave off the early birds into that first bend, which it did do, and then we knew that the greyhound would stay on well. It was impeded in the semi-finals, but still ran a cracking race when going on to beat Hello Dino, and here it's flown out of the boxes. You can see there was a little bit of bother there as 4 Hello Dino took a bit of a whack on the run up towards the first bend, and again at the bend. Magna Buddy found no way past as it rushed up into the turn. Meantime, Trap 3 Elwick Chris bounded clear into that third bend, and once coming home, it's going to draw further and further away. So well done to Michael Walsh with Elwick Chris, a greyhound who took a while to settle in this country. If you go back through its career, it took ages to win a race, having won over in Ireland at Thurles and Limerick, but wins have come eventually at Sheffield in 28.20, Sunderland 27.15, Sheffield 29.32 over 500 metres, second in the Steel City Cup, and wins have been gained at Newcastle and here at Bellevue as well. So that was a good run in the end from Elwick Chris. November Weather staying on for the locals. Otto Queres in second place, and Yahoo Jamie for Charlie Lister back in third. The spotlight camera was on Trap 3. Elwick Chris, who zipped out of the boxes, showed the early pace, led around the first bend, returned at 3-1, and once out in front here, I mean, it's basically game over. The only thing was if it had to hold Magna Buddy to the first bend as that rushed up on its inside. If Magna Buddy had got a clear run, it would have made it interesting to the third bend. But staying is the name of the game with Elwick Chris in the sense that once out in front, it's going to draw further away because it's got plenty of stamina over this 470 distance. And happy punters there enjoy the success of Elwick Chris.
And you know the irony, Errol, this greyhound nearly didn't run in the competition. The owner, Jim Brown, and the trainer, Michael Walsh, were so worried that he was recovering from a touch of sickness, and they didn't know whether to put him in the first round. They decided he was okay to go, and he still won that as well. So that's an interesting twist. And there is John, his son, Michael Walsh, John's son, doing it, and here's the race.
What a cracking run, and I think fully deserved after what was a sensational run against Mill Pinpoint in the Steel City Cup final. Beaten on that occasion, and a fantastic winner, of course, Mill Pinpoint, but his day has come here at Bellevue in the Laurels final, StanJames.com Laurels final, an event dating back to the 1930s at the home of greyhound racing, effectively where it all started. 27.50 the winning time. Awesome effort from Michael Walsh's greyhound, who had great success, of course, Michael with Larkill Bird, but really I think this is a special night for Jimmy Brown. He is pretty much the Elwick syndicate. He's a great owner. In fact, he took his licence out earlier this year, did Michael, and trained the dog for a little while as well, but he sent him over to Michael, said, look, you're going to do a better job with this dog than I will. He took him in. Michael's a cracking guy with a dog, and, well, a plan has come off. Almost came off in Sheffield, and they've done it here at Bellevue.
Well, Michael was saying he does the feeding, John, his son, does the galloping, and it's a good story because we played up about the possible trouble. There wasn't any trouble. It was the speed to the bend that decided the race. We thought that would happen.
Absolutely, and he's always had cracking early pace, but he popped the lids and with 1 and 2 getting each other's way. Took advantage.
There's Michael there. really happy trainer. Here's the SP.
So the full